Man, yesterday Ghana played a friendly match against Brazil. Ghana got destroyed, especially in that first half. Brazil scored 3 goals against Ghana in the first half. Ghana was horrible defensively against Brazil. Ghana left a lot of gaps in the defense, a lot of holes for the Brazilian players to penetrate. The Ghanaian defense was very disorganized. And if you're not a very organized team, Brazil is going to have a field day against you. You have to be very organized to contend with Brazil. Brazil is extremely technical and tactical, one of the best teams in the world. So you have to be very organized to play against Brazil because Brazil is very organized as well. So Ghana was not organized, especially in that first half. And, they played very lazy. That's unlike Ghana. Ghana is usually a very enthusiastic team, who likes to run. When Ghana played against Nigeria for the World Cup qualifications a few months ago, Ghana was very upbeat. They were attacking and they're very enthusiastic. They were very defensive against Nigeria, putting in a whole lot of effort. But the opposite was against Brazil. Against Brazil, Ghana was very lazy. They weren't putting in the most effort for defense. They weren't as organized against Brazil. And the Ghanaian defenders, were giving Brazil a whole lot of space. But against Nigeria, Ghana was, compact. Ghana was so compact against Nigeria, but against Brazil, Ghana was so loose, and a lot of that is because of mentality. A lot of Africans have an inferior mindset, especially in football and soccer. They think these big name European and South American teams like Germany, Brazil, and France and England, Spain are so much better than them. So they have that inferiority complex in their mind when they play against these big name nations, and it causes them to play afraid. But when Ghana plays against other African teams, they don't play afraid at all. So, I'm glad Ghana played against a big name team, a very talented team like Brazil's, so they could just get used to playing against a high level team and just build up confidence from being on the same field as teams that talented like Brazil, So, Ghana's first game in the World Cup is against Portugal, and that game against Brazil was a good test, to prepare for Ghana's first game against Portugal. Portugal is a very talented team as well, but Portugal isn't as technically and tactically skilled, as Brazil. So that's a thumbs up for Ghana. Ghana's going to have a little bit easier time against Portugal than they had against Brazil, but the Ghanaian coach, Odoado, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Odoado, the Ghanaian coach, he has some things to change. He has to change some players in the lineup. I would say bench the IU brothers. I would even bring the IU brothers to the World Cup maybe, but, the IU brothers, they have a connection with the Ghanaian black stars. So they're probably going to go to the World Cup. But I'm hoping the Ghanaian coach doesn't start them. You know, the IU brothers, they don't offer anything to the team. You know, and they don't score goals. They don't score goals. They're not great playmakers. They're not great defenders. So I don't know. They're just wasting up space. The IU brothers are just wasting up space on that field, and they need to be replaced. But the good thing is Brazil did not score any goals in the second half. Ghana improved a lot in the second half. Ghana's defense improved in the second half. Their defense was they were putting the team in the second half. Ghana was putting in more effort in that second half. Their defense was more organized in that second half, and they gave a little bit more effort in that attack. In the second half, Ghana in the first half, Ghana barely got the ball, and when Ghana did get the ball, they weren't passing accurately. They weren't putting a lot of effort to push the ball forward. They're playing afraid. But I guess the Ghanaian coach, during halftime, spoke to the team and told them certain things and gave them some confidence to go in that second half and play a better game against against Brazil. So, and Ghana's next game is against Nicaragua, and I already know, man, it's going to be a whole new lineup starting against Nicaragua, and then hopefully Ghana beats Nicaragua, and I know they have the talent to do so. But yeah, Cameroon actually plays Brazil, in the first round of World Cup, and so Cameroon better have watched this Ghana versus Brazil game to know how to play against a team like Brazil. In order to have some success against a very technical and tactical and talented team like a Brazil, you have to bring the game to them. You have to run against Brazil. You have to tire them out. You have to be physical. You can't give them a whole lot of space. Brazil is a very clinical team. Within 1 or 2 passes, they're up the field for an attack. So you have to make it difficult for them to pass the ball off the field. You have to be physical all up in their face, and you have to bring the game to them. You have to attack. You have to try to score. Take your chances at goal, man. That's how you beat a very technical, tactical team like Brazil. And man, that was just a learning experience for Ghana, and hopefully Cameroon, watch that game. But I think Cameroon can do well against Brazil because, Cameroon, they just had a friendly. Cameroon just had a friendly against Uzbekistan. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. And Cameroon lost that friendly 2-0. Uzbekistan scored 2 goals against Cameroon. And, Cameroon performed way better than Ghana did, especially with Ghana in that first half. Cameroon performed better than Ghana. Cameroon put a lot more effort in that game against Uzbekistan than Ghana did against Brazil. So and they tried to attack. And their defense was decently organized. Cameroon's defense was decently organized, and I like that they have organized defense. Against a team like Brazil, Cameroon plays Brazil in the World Cup. You got to have organized defense, to compete with a team like Brazil. So Cameroon just got unlucky. They had a couple lapses where they had some gaps in their defense. And Uzbekistan took advantage of that. So it's just a learning experience, and I believe Cameroon will be prepared for the World Cup. Sometimes it's good to lose, to learn from your mistakes, to improve as a team. But all right, you guys, peace.